Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new Sammy Hagar and the Circle album called Lockdown 2020. It was just released January 15th of 2021, so brand new release here. We'll dive into that in a little bit, but before we go any further, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, of course, and as an added bonus, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music. Just like this, we're taking a look at the brand new Sammy Hagar and the Circle album, Lockdown 2020. Now, Sammy formed the Circle back in 2014, and the supergroup itself features, of course, Sammy Hagar on vocals coming from Montrose, Van Halen, Chickenfoot, just to name a few. He's also got his fellow Van Halen bandmate, Michael Anthony, on bass, and then Jason Bonham on drums, son of John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, but Jason Bonham's also had his own solo band simply called Bonham, and then he's played for UFO and Foreigner, to name a few. And Vic Johnson, coming from the Wabaritas, who is Sammy's solo backing band. He's in there on guitar. And for live performances, the band itself will play tracks from throughout Sammy's career, as well as selections from the other bandmates in the projects they've been involved. And so we get Montrose, Van Halen, Sammy solo, Chickenfoot, Led Zeppelin, and then also classic cover songs that the band grew up on. And while they released a live album in 2015, it wasn't until 2019, a full 5 years after forming, that they released their debut album, The Space Between. Now, this album here actually debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 album chart, which is a really nice high charting position, 3rd overall for Sammy Hagar since 1991, when SoundScan started charting these things. And so, like most bands during 2020, the Circle was sidelined due to the pandemic. But during lockdown, as a way to stay creative, keep their chops up, and of course connect with the band, with the fans, the band started the lockdown sessions on YouTube. And while being socially distant and of course separated, they would play jams of classic cover songs and then post them to YouTube for all to enjoy. Now, for me, this became one of the highlights during the pandemic and something to look forward to each week. The performances, while live though, are essentially studio jams. The quality of these performances and how they make each track their own really surprised me. And for me, it's more than just a covers album. It features tracks by AC/DC, The Who, Bob Marley, just to name a few there. And the energy and excitement of these performances, for me, can really be felt on each track. It does feature one brand new song, the song Funky Feng Shui, which for me is as good as anything off the last album, The Space Between. And then it also features 3 versions of Van Halen songs on here, in particular the reinterpretation of the Van Halen song Right Now. It's played without a keyboard. Those parts are played on guitar. And for me, it really updates this track and just retains all that's great about it, but really brings it into the present, and just really impressed by how they were able to do that. The album itself has 11 tracks on it and closes with the cover song by David Bowie, Heroes. And while it was done as a tribute to David for both his birthday and his passing, it's also done as a tribute to all the frontline workers who helped take care of us during the pandemic and things like that. Now, my only complaint about this album is that most of the tracks are shorter, edited versions of the originals, and most of these tracks are actually less than 2 minutes long. And so far, no explanation has been given as to why this is the case, but I wonder if it has something to do with copyright issues. I'm not sure. This is fully speculation, but I know that fair use law allows for 30 seconds of a track to be used without having to pay for it, and I have heard of some instances where you can use up to 90 seconds of a track. So I don't know if that's it. I'm just curious. It could be maybe some of the reason why. But these shortened versions, while not long enough to fully get into each performance, it also allows each track to not overstay its welcome. and it's only 27 minutes long on here. The album is essentially like one big medley long, or as I think like Sammy would think about this, like one big party. So let's take a look at this. I like the artwork on this. We got the four guys there, each taking, photos from while they were in their studios, recording these things. And then here's the back side of this. One thing you'll notice on this, the track number 10, Sympathy for the Human, which is actually a Sammy Hagar solo tune, is credited to Van Halen. So a mistake there. I did reach out to Sammy. I've not heard back as to whether or not they're going to correct that on future releases or not. And then you get the inside of this, and they give a cool rundown of how this came about, equipment that was used, little thoughts about it from both the engineers, the people who mixed it, that kind of stuff. And actually says that Sammy Hagar mostly used his iPhone even for the audio on this. So pretty amazing you could get the quality of audio out of this just from an iPhone. But there you go. That's the artwork and the packaging. Unfortunately, there's no booklet or anything with it, but you do get a little bit of something there, and it's great to have collected all 11 of these ones together. So bottom line on this, while the album is short, it is a fantastic release, and the energy and the performance levels are really top notch on each of these songs. And the selection of songs, while not expected, does really turn out to work well together. I totally highly recommend this album, especially if you're a Sammy Hagar or Van Halen fan or just a fan of classic rock. They do really great cover versions of these songs. And, here's hoping that we get a Lockdown 2021 to follow this album up here in the future. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.